Khabib Nurmagomedov is regarded as one of the greatest fighters ever and retired from MMA with a stellar 29-0 record, becoming the UFC lightweight champion in the process. Before this, he was also a combat Sambo champion, as well as competing in various other martial arts and generally being regarded as an outstanding grappler. To add to his grappling credentials, he's also a black belt in judo, as well as having 11 submissions in MMA. Many of these submissions came from his back, which proves just how versatile the Dagestani fighter actually is. As a result, this leaves many BJJ fans asking whether Khabib is a BJJ black belt. This may be surprising to some, but it turns out that Khabib Nurmagomedov is actually a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu white belt. Having said that, there's far more to the story than this, and it's a technicality rather than an actual indication of his skill level. It turns out that although Khabib has grappled for most of his life, he's just never been formally promoted within Jiu Jitsu. This means that technically, he still remains a white belt. Of course, he is a judo black belt and an international master of Sambo, which means his grappling skills are sublime. As well, he has also easily outgrappled and submitted various Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belts whilst in the cage. Undoubtedly, Khabib has the skills of a very high-level Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt. Over the years, some have even pondered how he would do in ADCC, which is Brazilian Jiu Jitsu's equivalent to the Olympics. As this is a no-gi event that emphasizes wrestling, it's fair to say that Khabib would likely do well in this environment, and his takedowns would score him points. Could the Dagestani avoid leg locks? Who knows? But it would be great to see one day. As for the gi, Khabib is still incredibly talented and has trained in judo and sambo for decades, which require the jacket. As a result, it's not like his skills wouldn't translate to the gi and he would still be a monster. Because of this, it's fair to say that Khabib would be technically better than most average BJJ black belts and even hang with the very top guys. This shows just how good he is at grappling, both on the floor and standing. If you've seen Khabib's ground game, then you'll understand that he does train Jiu Jitsu. Whilst Sambo, Judo and Wrestling all train partly on the ground, nothing gives it as much attention as Brazilian Jiu Jitsu does. He has been pictured next to Renzo Gracie after training, and Renzo was very complimentary of his skills, quoting, "Khabib trains Jiu Jitsu every single day. His Jiu Jitsu is amazing." He went on to say, "Elite BJJ is not enough to beat Khabib," which says it all. In short, you'd be very naive to believe that Khabib doesn't train Jiu Jitsu or somehow is not very good at it. As the saying goes, the proof is in the pudding, and Khabib has enough proof that he's got very top level BJJ skills. At one weigh-in session for MMA, Khabib famously wore the controversial t-shirt which said, "If Sambo was easy, it would be called Jiu Jitsu." This alludes that Khabib believes that Sambo is superior to Jiu Jitsu and was quite a shocking statement. However, it turns out that Khabib is actually very complimentary of Jiu Jitsu. After all, he does train it and use it regularly. Having said this, he has also been realistic and balanced when appraising Jiu Jitsu. In one interview, Khabib said how BJJ was perfect for the ground, but also had many problems. This is his exact quote: "Jiu Jitsu has a very big problem. There are no good takedowns. No good takedowns, but on the ground it's perfect. Jiu Jitsu on the ground is perfect, and if you want to begin Jiu Jitsu, you need takedown guys. In Sambo, there is very good takedowns. Takedown skills, and if you have a mix of combat Sambo plus wrestling, this is unstoppable. In all fairness, he probably has a point. Too often, BJJ practitioners are too happy to sit to a guard, whereas in an MMA fight, this strategy simply isn't very effective. For now, Khabib is still a BJJ white belt. However, this is merely a name and title. If he really wanted, he could easily get a Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt within a year due to his elite grappling level, which is based on his current level of knowledge. As seen, Khabib trains BJJ regularly and uses it in his fights. Contrary to popular belief, he is also quite complementary to the Brazilian martial art as well.